All right, well, we have it ready from Huff. So let's count down our last match of the bracket. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And as you can see, we have same piece sets. So both players are going to be experiencing the same droughts. However, their decisions impact what kind of pieces and how they, what kind of pieces, or rather, their decisions impact how the pieces impact their stack. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. And as of right now, small drought here for Huff. Unable to capitalize on the first Tetris, Alex T is able to score 2. And with same piece sets, it becomes interesting because you can only gain an advantage over your opponent if they don't utilize the eyepiece for a Tetris. And right there, that's a prime example. Alex T was unable to use an eyepiece for a Tetris, and as a result, Huff has actually equalized the position, and Alex T falls further behind, having to deal with these issues. And Alex T going aggressive here. Not able to convert on a Tetris. And this is going to allow Huff to gain around a Tetris and a half lead. Tetris for Alex T, 134 to 166. Tetris for Alex T. And so far, both players seem to be pretty comfortable. And ooh, a couple of rough S's for Huff's board in particular. It's going to allow Alex T to close the gap. And Huff having to kind of perpetuate these burns with these S's. And Alex T not really getting some good pieces either. So both players having to deal with the same sequence, but different pieces are causing different issues for their respective boards. Huff is deciding to take a triple there. Going to take another triple. Meanwhile, Alex T knocks down a dirty Tetris. And we are just about even. There it is, Tetris for both Huff and Alex T. 255 to now 258. Separated by 3,000 points in favor of Alex T. Both players have a comfortable board. Neither could actually use that long bar for a Tetris, but can utilize the next one. 278 to now 282. Both players knock down yet again another Tetris, and so seems like both of them should be pretty comfortable. Alex T with a little bit of a diving board overhang. Unfortunately, it is going to result in some burns later down the line. And Alex T is able to open up the well just in time for the Tetris. Another Tetris for Huff. But Tetris for Alex T. So 250 or 350 to 353. Alex T still in the lead by the few thousand points. Nice. Huff avoiding creating the eyepiece dependency. Both players getting hit by the same drought. Huff knocks down a Tetris, and Alex T follows suit. Alex T forced to take a skim here as Huff knocks down a Tetris, and so does Alex T. And Huff isn't too far ahead in the sequence either, but ooh, that missed opportunity for Huff. It's going to cause Alex T to actually take a definitive lead here by only one Tetris. But we are about to hit the transition. 429 to 447. Scratch that 452 to 470. We're looking at a couple of mid to high 500s for Huff and Alex T respectively. And another Tetris for Huff, catching right back up. So we might transition around the same score now. It's just always so fascinating to see just the moments when players are unable to utilize the long bar. Both players knock down a Tetris right here. 520 to now 519. We actually could have a potential tie situation if Alex T takes a skim. There it is, Tetris for Huff and Alex T. Will transition on the next Tetris. Huff might be going with a left well. There it is, Tetris for Huff, or not Tetris, he's going to transition at 548. Meanwhile, Alex T transitions at 568. So Alex T with the advantage at transition. Huff actually having to do some correcting at the beginning, and Alex T having to kind of resolve that small misdrop. And that small misdrop is turning into something a little bit bigger, giving Huff the opportunity to catch back up and tie up the game. Huff knocks down a Tetris, 602 to now 598. Huff aiming to get Tetris ready again. Alex T opens up the well, knocks down a Tetris, 628 to 628, separated by only 500 points. But both players are clean. Huff with a minor line advantage. Gonna go ahead and take a few skims here. Going out for the long bar. This Huff is now Tetris ready. Alex T also Tetris ready, and they might be running into a drought here. Neither player could utilize the long bar that corresponded with that drought. They're both waiting on the next opportunity to score. Huff knocks down a Tetris, and so does Alex T. 664 to 669. Another Tetris for Huff. Goes up to 692, but Alex T bounces right back, and beautiful adjustment by Huff. 693 to now 697. Another Tetris for both Huff and Alex T. Almost simul Tetrises. Huff now Tetris ready. Alex T having to do a little bit more burning. Another Tetris for Huff and for Alex T. 756 to now 751. Another Tetris for Huff, but Alex T was unable to utilize that long bar. So Huff might be able to garner up a small lead. But Alex T knocks down the Tetris, 786 to now 814 and now 816. Separated by two Tetrises here. Or not two Tetrises, 2,000. Another Tetris for Huff, but Tetris for Alex T, keeping the separation the same. Huff knocks down another Tetris. Meanwhile, Alex T forced to have to burn that one line out. Absolutely insane Tetris for Alex T. 880 to now 876. Huff not quite Tetris ready, but knocks down a Tetris, 907 to now 912. Absolutely close game here, but oh no, a misdrop for Huff. And Alex T is in prime position to capitalize if the long bar comes in time. Huff not able to use that long bar, but is able to use the next one. Tetris for Huff, and two Tetrises for Alex T going into the lead, 980 to now 948. Another Tetris for Huff goes up to 982. Alex T forced to use that long bar to fill in the dependency, but knocks down another Tetris. 814 to now 816. Another Tetris for Alex T goes up to 848. Both players keeping it clean. Huff cannot use that long bar for the Tetris. Huff Tetris ready, and so is Alex T. Both players holding out. Tetris for Huff. Alex T not able to utilize it for a Tetris, so Huff goes back into the lead. Huff sets up a delayed burn, but it's not necessarily a clean one. Would love to get a JP's here as Alex T goes to B19. Huff deciding to just burn, get ready for 29. He's trying to get set up. Trying to get set up for a good board on 29 here. And Huff is going to skim in the middle of a drought. Tetris for Huff, B01. Meanwhile, Alex T is at B36. Alex T burns the triple and now is getting stacked up. Meanwhile, Huff is trying to get the stack and under control. Down by more than a Tetris, is either going to have to out-survive Alex T or have to score some Tetrises. But speaking about score some Tetrises, Alex T knocks down another one. Goes up to B92. Meanwhile, Huff is at B18. Down by around 70,000 points. Finally gotten the board down to a comfortable position by Alex T. Knocks down another Tetris. Goes up to 1.23. Huff trying to get the board under control, maybe trying to scale here, but Alex T knocks down another Tetris, goes up to 1.27. Right now, Huff is still trying to stay clean, down by 100,000 points, well, more than 100,000 points right now. Huff now sets up a dirty Tetris here in the center, but doesn't get the long bar in time. Alex T now at 1.3 here. Huff is still trying to stay alive here. Alex T aiming to try and get Tetris ready for another Cinema Tetris. No, just going to burn this all the way out. Meanwhile, Huff has gotten the board under control. Could try and stack up for one here. Not trying to go for any left placements just yet. Able to throw a couple flat pieces over to the left. Meanwhile, Alex T only going for some skims. And there it is, a crucial Tetris for Huff. 1.209 for Huff. 1.348 for Alex T. Alex T not going to set up, try and go set up for a Tetris, just going to burn lines. If Huff can try and score another Tetris, close the gap. Huff was trying to get set up, but unfortunately the pieces are not complying, so now Huff is having to do some burning. But speaking about getting set up for a Tetris, Alex T is set up. He's holding out for the long bar, gets the long bar, knocks out a Tetris, goes up to 1.412. Huff now is just having to try and stay alive right now. Needs to get access to that hole before they can try and score Tetrises. All right, finally getting burned down. Bring the stack all the way down. Meanwhile, Alex T at 1.47. Huff at 1.25, down by 200,000 points. And this entire deficit was achieved with post-29 play over here for Alex T. Both players at level 37. Huff now trying to get things back into where he can score Tetris. He's trying to get set up. He's holding out for the right pieces. He's set up for a Tetris, but he needs the long bar to come right now. He's running out of time. Long bar does not come, and Huff is in trouble, and Huff is going to top out at 1.264. Alex T scoring around 300 or 400,000 in the post kill screen is going to take game number 1. Wow. Just consecutively just kept on knocking down Tetrises, and Huff couldn't really find a comfortable position to build up for any Tetrises here. But it looks like Alex T, no, he's not done yet. Able to roll those pieces over to the left, but 1.546. All right, we have a ready and a hover 3 from Alex T. Let's go ahead and count them down. What a game 1 that was. Close all the way up until 29, and contrary to what happened in 29, Alex T consecutively went for Tetrises, while Huff was only able to score lines here and there, and each time that Huff built up for a Tetris, unfortunately, he was unable to get the long bar in time to score it before he was forced to cover up the well. But that's just game 1, and game 2 is now underway. There's Tetris for Huff. Gonna put us into a pretty even position here. And Alex T with a T-spin dependency set up and decides to go for a couple of interesting burns here. Let's see what he has in mind. Goes for the O-tuck underneath. Could try and set up for a dirty. Now, as we mentioned, you know, with same piece sets, the rate at which you score Tetrises matter. If you capitalize a long bar for a Tetris or not. And we saw in some various instances where Huff was able to take some leads over Alex T in earlier of the post-transition in game 1, just simply scoring Tetrises where Alex T could not. And we're kind of seeing a representation of that here, as Alex T has kind of had not necessarily the most stable of builds. He's been able to maintain a pretty steady Tetris rate in this build, but unfortunately, Huff has been able to basically capitalize on most of the long bars that have fallen, while Alex T had to throw a good majority of them to the left early on. But to open up this game, Alex T at 128,000. Huff is at 207 here before 40 lines. We're looking at only 3 burn lines for Huff, if I'm counting correctly. I believe it was done so with a triple as well. Alex T forced to utilize the long bar to get Tetris ready. And oh, a double rotate for Alex T. The well was open. All right, he's able to use the long bar. And there it is, Tetris for Alex T. $280 for Huff right now, 207 for Alex. And Alex just really continuing to go with this non-traditional style of stacking here, trying to maintain the center well. Just trying to put himself in a position to always utilize the long bars. And it's interesting, because if you're utilizing the long bars at the same time as your opponent is not gaining a lead. Anyways, Huff now in need of a long bar to go for the split double here. Alex T creates a long bar dependency, perhaps unintentionally. And it's going to complicate into more than just that. This isn't even a Tetris, so Alex T, ooh, those O's were a little bit rough. Alex T not going to get set up for the dirty just yet. Now it's set up, holding out for the long bar. It appears we're in the midst of a long bar drought, and just really unfortunate timing right there. Alex T still not able to score, and Huff has now built up more than a 100 and almost 150,000 point lead, as Alex T is still trying to go for this center well Tetris, and is finally able to get it. 313 for Alex, 448 for Huff. And Alex, interestingly enough, is actually going to decide to try and burn this down. Just probably decided that he kind of wasted too much time in that burn and allowed Huff to extend his lead to unfavorable amounts. Anyways, Tetris for Alex T, 346 to now 495. And a couple of unfavorable pieces for Huff as well. Wow. Those are some really unfortunate pieces. But Huff is going to be able to manage them pretty well. However, this is Alex T's opportunity to close the gap. In moments like these, you have to take advantage. Alex T just rolling those pieces over, not Tetris ready, forced to take a double. Huff is almost out of it, and Alex T was not able to score a single Tetris during the dig that Huff had to endure. There it is, Tetris for Alex, 421 to 511. We will transition on the next Tetris for Alex and 2 Tetrises for Huff. Alex transitions at 448. Meanwhile, Huff knocks down a Tetris, can try and get one more. Unfortunately, pieces aren't really complying, so Huff is going to transition at 559 and knocks down a Tetris. So a massive lead compared to what we had in game 1, where both players were virtually tied almost the entire game. Another Tetris for Huff, 607, and now scratch that 632. Rapid Tetrises in succession for Huff right there, and Alex T was able to knock down one as well. 547 in need of a J or an S piece to go for either a tuck or a spin respectively. Both players, Alex T knocks down a Tetris, 576. Huff now having to do a couple of skims to get Tetris ready, but pristine stack, absolutely beautiful. Tetris for Huff, 686 to now 631. Alex T is doing the best that he can, is actually starting to gain some efficiency on Huff. 717 to now 659. Another Tetris for Huff, 744. Alex T with a bit setup, and unfortunately eyepiece did not come in time, so really unfortunate use of lines right there. 690 and now 647. Huff actually having to do some burning 3 lines here. This is going to allow Alex T to close the gap by a certain amount. Alex T is Tetris ready. Huff also in position to be Tetris ready. There it is. Huff is going to knock down Tetris, and so does Alex T. 780 and now 719. Alex T now only down by around 60,000 points. Knocks down a Tetris. Meanwhile, Huff is behind by almost a full level. So there it is. Tetris for Huff. Tetris ready again as Alex T knocks down another Tetris. Huff knocks down one as well, but that J piece dependency is going to be a little bit tedious to kind of resolve. And the J piece is not coming, so this is Alex T's opportunity. Huff is having to do massive amounts of burning. There's a lot of weight that's on that hole. Alex T is Tetris ready, holding out for the long bar. Holding up for the long bar. There it is. Tetris for Alex T. 847 now 848. Huff is almost out of this. But Alex T has the potential to take the lead temporarily. Holding out for the long bar. There it is. Tetris for Alex T. 879. Scratch that. 912 for Alex T, and 855 for Huff. Not quite Tetris ready for that long bar. Holding out for the next one. Meanwhile, Alex T running into some complications. And oh, this is getting a little bit tricky. Needs an L or a J. Needs another I piece. Just needs something. Meanwhile, Huff has already surpassed Alex T's score, so he has to survive this. And he's doing so effortlessly. Throwing pieces over to the left. Huff is Tetris ready. Knocks down a Tetris. 958 to now 926. Alex T waiting for the right pieces. Not going to go for the flat placement. Needs another. No, actually going to avoid setting up the L piece dependency and opens up the well just in time for a Tetris. In time for 29. Meanwhile, Huff is at 827. Alex T going to have to really work on 29 here as Huff is in an ideal position here. There it is. Tetris for Huff. Can try and grab 2 more. Holding out for the long bar. Holding out for the long bar. Huff trying to go for 1 more. Alex T, meanwhile, is at 996. Huff setting up for the Tetris. Waiting on the long bar. Long bar doesn't come, so Huff is forced to do some burning. Alex T now trying to score. Tetris is going to do so. 839 and now B18. We already saw what happened in game 1 where Alex T was scoring Tetrises while Huff spent his time lining out. Will we see that repeat here in game number 2? Huff needs to win this in order to tie the matchup 1-1. Alex T is Tetris ready. There is another Tetris for Alex T. Now only down by 40,000 points. He's set up for another Tetris. Waiting on the long bar. Nice burns. Tetris ready. Holding out for the long bar still. Throwing pieces over the left. Another Tetris for Alex. Down by only 4,000 or 6,000 points. Oh my gosh. Huff now only with a small 5,000 point lead. And Alex T knocks down a Tetris and goes into the lead. B30 or B89 to now B57. Huff is still not able to score any Tetrises. Alex T now with a 30,000 point lead. Huff now has to start scoring for Tetrises, or maybe is just hoping that Alex T tops out and plans to outlast him. Alex T now starting to have to do some burning. Meanwhile, Huff not really in a position to score any Tetrises, having to do some burning as well. Has to burn that triple. Alex T now having to do some burning, but is still in the lead by 30,000 points. By no means a massive lead here on 29, but oh no, Alex T not able to get a piece all the way over to the left. Can't roll it. Huff now, and with that Tetris, Huff is going to do it. And Huff ties up the set 1-1 with 1,233,000 to 1,214,000. Alex T was able to come back and take the lead in post, and then was not able to display the same amount of survival in game 1, and Huff just simply outlasting Alex T was good enough to take the game. And we are now tied 1-1. And Huff with 1.3, now 1.4, level 38. There it is. Set up, and there it is, 1.5. We saw 1.5 from Alex T in game 1. Huff has reciprocated that same fashion. Is he going for another Tetris? He's trying to get the pieces to set up. Nice eye placement. Can he get another eye piece in time for the well? Oh, all right, well is open. Oh no, couple of misdrops from Huff. Needs to throw pieces over to the left. Trying to keep the well open. Gets a Tetris. And this might be... No, Huff is still alive. Nice flat burns. Only a couple thousand points away from the 1.6. And there it is, 1.6 for Huff. Can he get a piece over to the left, though? Yes, he can. Still trying to keep this going here. Holding out for it. And Huff can't get the long bar over, but 1.616 for Huff. All right, both players are hovering 3. I'm going to assume that means that both players are ready. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go. Game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Close enough. And Alex T already off to a pretty rough start here. Now, the storyline of these first two games have been nothing short of phenomenal. Alex T and Huff were virtually tied almost the entirety of game 1 up until 29, where Huff decided to play 29 for the sake of survival, and Alex T went for efficiency and was just knocking down Tetris after Tetris. And speaking about knocking down Tetris, Alex T need a long bar sooner than later to knock down a Tetris, and there it is. He's gonna be fine. But Alex T in game 1 was just knocking down Tetris after Tetris on the post-kill screen and was able to build up quite a massive lead, up by 300,000 points when it was all said and done. However, in game 2, Huff demonstrated that efficiency, or going for efficiency, isn't always the route to go, and just simply outlasting Alex T allowed Huff to take game 2 and also allow him to convert on that game and get a 1.6, our highest score that we've seen tonight. But so far, Alex T has kind of been having some trouble getting the board into a safe position. Finally gets the long bar, gonna bring it down a much needed 4 lines. And with that, Alex T is clean and is Tetris ready. Meanwhile, it's Huff's turn to have to experience some tribulations. And unfortunately, looks like this is gonna cost Huff a lot more than it costed Alex T. The way the holes are positioned are gonna prevent Huff from necessarily being able to go right into a clean scoring position. He's going to have to set up for a center well here in order to try and convert on a long bar. He is set up for the well transfer, but is not going to try and go all in for it. There it is. Tetris for Huff, still going for this. Another Tetris for Huff. Meanwhile, Alex T actually getting uncomfortable. Oh, Alex T hangs the piece? Can he get the piece over? No, he cannot. Alex T is going to have an early top at 152,000, so Huff is good. It is one step away from advancing to top 4. And we have a hover 3 from Huff. Both players are ready. Let's count them down. We go in 3, 2, 1 at Tetris. So Huff now up 2-1. Alex T needs to win this game in order to take us to a decider. We just had our first early top out in the set from Alex T. So Huff is in a much more comfortable position. We've seen what Alex T can do on 29. We've seen the levels of efficiency that Alex T is capable on both 19 and 18. But he needs to take all of that and replicate that again here in this game up against Huff in order to bring it to a decider. And Huff just needs to display the same amount of consistency he's been showing this entire set. Just playing incredibly solid, taking it to 29, and playing the best that he can on 29. Alex T's gonna knock down a Tetris. Just, oh, actually, no, gonna take the burn. Waited for the L piece as opposed to using the I piece. There is Tetris for Alex T. Huff was able to get off to a little bit more of an efficient start than Alex here in the beginning. And Alex is going to knock down another Tetris. Or not Alex, Huff. Alex is in position to knock down Tetrises. Just has to skim a piece or hold out for an I piece. And that's actually another thing that's interesting about same piece sets. Is generally players try to avoid double wides. They focus so much on being able to utilize every single long bar that they really try and avoid using the long bar to build up for a Tetris. Because in the case of what we've seen in just this match alone between Huff and Alex, is that both of these players are capable of being very efficient with their long bars. I mean, we saw in game one, they were able to essentially match each other's efficiency throughout the entirety of level 18. But right now, both players having to endure a drought here. And they both do so pretty easily. Both players are going to knock down another quick Tetris as well. 248 to now 237. We're separated by half a Tetris, so we're borderline playing at around the same efficiency. Take a weird combination of line burns in order to get into an exact tie position. There it is, Tetris for Alex T. Huff's gonna knock one down as well, and now it's 396 to 306. There's another Tetris for Alex. 351 to now 341. We are looking at a couple of high 500s, potentially a 600 or two. It's possible with the right amount of efficiency, but the key thing is the right amount of efficiency. It requires both players to be pretty efficient over these next 50 or so lines. But right now, both players seem to be walking headfirst into a minor drought here. Tetris for both Alex T and Huff. Huff with a slight hang with the O. Nothing too serious. But it is going to prevent him from capitalizing on one long bar for a Tetris. But Alex T had an unfortunate misdrop, so kind of nullifies that. And Huff is actually going to go into the lead. And Alex T, what a crucial miss of the S-spin that was. There is another Tetris for Alex. 451 to now 462, separated by 10,000 points in favor of Huff. There it is, Tetris for Alex T. Huff is going to knock down a Tetris and, ooh. It's a pretty tedious misdrop, but Huff is actually going to find a really efficient way to deal with it. Now it's just in need of a J piece. Can he get a J piece, though? Yes, he does. What? Alex T's going to transition at 567. Huff is going to transition at 578. So borderline, very close scores here for game number 4. Alex T has to outscore Huff in order to bring us to a decider. Alex T is Tetris ready. Huff has knocked down a Tetris. Nice placements for Alex, but he's running into a drought, which means Huff is about to be experiencing the same. Alex T not able to get that piece in a preferred location, but is able to knock down 2 quick Tetrises, bring the stack down into a more comfortable position. Now let's see how he's going to try and navigate through this. Holding out for the most ideal pieces. In fact, we'd love to get an eyepiece here. Gets the eyepiece. Perfect scenario. Huff goes up to 656, going into the lead after knocking down another Tetris. 683 to now 651. Alex T has gotten the board under control. Knocks down a Tetris, but Huff is clean as well. Tetris for Huff, 709 to now 677. Separated by just around a Tetris worth. Alex T knocks down a Tetris. Huff not quite ready for one, but is ready now. Knocks one down, 739 to now 707. Both players now on level 22, separated by 1 Tetris in favor of Huff. Alex T knocks down a Tetris, but Huff counters, preventing Alex T from gaining anything on the lead. Holding out for the right pieces. Alex T knocks down a Tetris and now is waiting on the long bar. Long bar comes a bit too late, so Alex T forced to have to do some extra burning here. Meanwhile, Huff was able to capitalize, is now up by 60,000 points. Alex T looking for the right piece combination in order to help him navigate through this to get back in the scoring position as soon as possible. But these pieces are rather complicated, forcing Alex T to perpetuate this burn. Nice split double followed up by a couple of singles. Alex T has the potential to get Tetris ready, just needs a piece over to the left. Meanwhile, Huff has also corrected the stack. Both players clean. Tetris for Alex T, 866 to now 807. Alex T ready. Huff also ready. Tetris for Huff, 898. Alex T not in a position to score. Had to do some stack sacrificing. Holding out for the long bar. There it is. Tetris for Alex. Now just needs a J piece or an I piece to deal with that hole. Unfortunately, doesn't get either in time. So forced to go for a split triple. Might be going dirty here. Is he going dirty? No, he's going to set up. No, this isn't even a Tetris though. Alex T still relying on the long bars, and they all come, but Huff has now built up a 130,000 point lead. Another Tetris for Alex T, but Huff is already in max out territory. He's at 830 right now. Both players are at level 27. Alex T needs to find some way to start scoring fast. Knocks down a Tetris. Can't try and go for the will transfer. Gets the correct piece. Sets up a delay burn. Nice. Alex T is ready to go into level 28 with a clean board here. Knocks down the Tetris, 967 to now 868, separated by 100,000 points. As Huff knocks down Tetris, goes to 1.1, knocks down another Tetris, goes to 1.139. Alex T set up for one last Tetris here before transition. Forced to burn a double. Ooh, this is getting a little bit tricky for Alex T. He needs the long bar. Long bar's not coming. Long bar's not coming. Long bar's not coming. Alex T finally holds out, gets the long bar, but now is having to do all this burning. Meanwhile, Huff having a transition. Both players transition to level 29. Alex T down by 140,000 points and doesn't have the cleanest of boards going into 29. Meanwhile, Huff is all the way down at the bottom. Alex T has corrected the stack. He's ready to go back into scoring Tetrises as what he usually does on 29. Or is he going to try and outlast Huff? Right now, Alex T having to do some burning. Huff is just simply scaling right now, just throwing pieces over. But Alex T with several misdrops in a row, cascading one over another. Can he try and get a J piece? Gets the J piece, that's gonna help. Still needs another one. He needs to get a piece over to the left. He needs to get a piece over to the left. That left is looking dangerous. And he's able to get an I piece over. Very crucial, but Huff goes to 1.2 as Alex T is now at 1.08. Huff now with a little bit of a troubling overhang. But players are having to do some digging here. Alex T throws a piece over to the left. Needs to do so again. Goes for a flat I placement. Can't get the T-piece over. This could be it for Alex T. He sets up a delay burn, and it's not going to happen. Alex T is going to top out at 1,096,000. Huff with 1.227 is good for game number 4 and advances to your top 4. And Huff, of course, taking his victory lap. But regardless, absolutely fantastic game, fantastic set between Huff and Alex. And of course, if you want Alex to be rewarded for his efforts in this amazing gameplay he showed today, then let's get that Matcherino prize pool up to 2,000. Just type !Matcherino and you can donate directly to the prize pool. So that's where you guys are going to go next. But bracket winner is, of course, Huff. We have the hopeful circuit going on Monthly Tetris 2. So we're going to send you guys over there. But as always, I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see you all in the next bracket of Classic Tetris Monthly Masters event.
Hey everybody, this is your old pal, Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.